Hey guys, Sean Terry here, Flip2Freedom.com. So this morning, early, I did a Instagram live and I briefly touched on reverse engineering your income goal for 2020. What specifically you have to do on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis to achieve a specific income goal. And my inbox literally blew up with messages from people wanting to learn more about how exactly that works. So I thought I'd do a video real quick and explain how to reverse engineer the goal. So the question we're going to answer is, if you want to make $75,000 in 2020, right? And that's your number. And it could be $150,000, whatever the number is. But let's say theoretically it's $75,000 and you want to reverse engineer specifically a marketing budget on how many leads you have to generate on a weekly basis. Then what I'm going to do is walk you through the math right now and that process. So whatever your number is, you can reverse engineer it, and you know specifically you can set a weekly goal, a monthly goal, a quarterly goal, and you can achieve your end goal, which is your annual goal. So let's start with $75,000. So before we can actually reverse engineer the actual income goal of $75,000, we have to know three numbers, right? And these three numbers are what's called key performance indicators. There's a lot of key performance indicators we track, but these are the three most important numbers that if we know these numbers, we can predict income and we can essentially reverse engineer specifically what to do to achieve that result. Now, the first number we need is average deal size, right? This is your average deal size. So how you figure out average deal size is you take all the deals that you've done and then you divide them by the amount of income. So if you've done, I've done $100,000 in revenue and you've done 10 deals, it's $10,000 per deal. That's your average deal size. So let's say theoretically your average deal size is $7,500. Let's use that number as a baseline. And I'm also going to talk about what if you don't have your numbers, what if you haven't tracked your numbers. So we'll get to that. So the next number that's average deal size. The next number we've got to know is your conversion. And that's how many leads per contract that it takes you to convert a deal. So you get leads coming in. Now, people ask, how do you define a specific lead? A lead is someone who is ready, willing, able to sell a property, right? And they're calling in off your marketing, or you generated a lead off texting, you're generating a lead off cold calling, and they're ready, willing, able to sell, and they want to sell, and they have a house to sell. Now, there's a difference between a response, if someone calls in off marketing, and then actually a lead. You're going to have a response. A response is just the response where someone's calling in. They might say, take me off your list, or they're going to have a not viable property. It's out in the middle of nowhere. You can't do anything with it. I'm not going to count that as a lead. I want to count actually viable deals that I can do something with, and that will count toward our conversion. So that's to clarify the difference between a response and a lead. Now that we have to find out what our conversion, how many contracts or how many leads does it take to get a contract? Now, I can tell you, and I don't want to give you averages because it's different for everybody and it's different per lead source, but you can give a generalized number of 1 in 25. Now, the better you get, the more education you get, the better you learn, the more time you meet with sellers, the different type of deal structures will reduce that number. And you'll get a contract for 1 in 5, 1 in 10, 1 in 15, 1 in 17, right? The better you get at this business, that conversion number in your income will increase dramatically. So here's what happens. So let's use a number. Let's call it 1 in 20. Okay. So we have an average deal size of 75 and we have a leads per contract of 1 in 20. That's the second key performance indicator number. The third key performance indicator number that we have is the cost per lead. What does it cost to generate a lead? Now, there's multiple different deal sources. Like we do Google advertising, and in Phoenix, our Google ads are $332 on a cost per lead, right? We do direct mail. That's about $230 cost per lead. We do texting, and we do cold calling, and we do ringless voicemail, where that's about $15 to $20 cost per lead. So on a blended basis, if you're going to blend them all together, and you're going to look at all the leads that you have, what's your cost per lead, right? In that manner. Now you might have self-generated leads that you do as well, where there is no cost. It's just your effort involved in it. So now that you have that and the cost per lead, let's call the cost per lead number. Let's call it $50, right? It's blended. You're in different markets. You're not in Phoenix where it's a high cost per lead, but you're across the country between texting and cold calling and direct mail and other means. You're generating leads and all that cost plus the skip tracing involved and everything that is costing you roughly $50 per lead. So what do we have for numbers now? We have 7,500. We have a conversion of 1 in 20, and we have $50 cost per lead. So how do we turn that into information on a weekly goal basis that we can go out and set a target for a month, an annual goal down to a weekly task? So what we do, I got my trusty calculator here because it helps, right? So now I've got 75,000, right? 75,000. Right? And I'm going to divide that. And we got 7,500, so that's easy. That's 10. I don't want to make it that easy, right? I want to make it difficult. So let's back up. Let's call our average deal size. Let's call it 6,500, just to throw off the numbers a little bit. So we got 6,500, right? So I've got 75,000, right? Divided by 6,500 equals 11.5 deals, right? 11.5 deals. So 11.5, 6,500 deals is going to equate in $75,000. Now, obviously we can't do a half a deal. So what essentially we do is round up. So we're going to have 12, right? Now we got to take into an account a fallout ratio. There's going to be deals that are going to fall out for title reasons. Sellers are crazy. Things are going to happen. Things are going to go south. Buyers are going to back out. It's just part of the deal. I would equate about a 10% a fallout ratio per deals that you have. So let's say you have 12. Now that's 1.2. Let's round it up to 2. So now you have 14. So now your number is 14. So 14 deals that you have to accomplish in 2020 to reach a goal of $75,000. Now, how much is it going to cost? Well, it's going to cost now let's look at how many deals we got. 14, and we're going to divide that, right? I divide that by 48, right? And that's like the working weeks that we have. 48 weeks. We have holidays and whatever. Let's call it 48 to make it easy. So that's essentially basically less than 3 deals a week. Obviously you got less than, you got 0.2. So if you divide that by 12, and you're going to say, okay, you've got to accomplish 14 divided by 12. Well, now you have basically a deal, about a deal and a half a month, about 2 deals a month. So 1 month you'll do a deal, the next month you do 2 deals, the next month you do a deal, the next month you do 2 deals, and then you'll be on track. So you're about a deal to 2 deals a month in that case. Now what we're going to do is we got the fallout ratio, we got 14 deals, and we know that we're going to have to do about 1 to 2 deals a month on that case. Now we're going to take out and look at how many leads we have to generate. So now what we do is we take the amount of deals we need. We got 14 deals that we have to make, and we're going to figure out how many leads. So our conversion number is 1 in 20. So we got 14 times 20, boom, that's 280 leads, and you're going to divide that now. By 48. That is essentially 6 leads that you need each week to go out and accomplish your goal. So if you're going to divide, 6 leads a week times, let's say, if you're going to divide 6 leads, let's multiply it, 280 divided by a month, divided by 12. So that's 23 leads a month. So basically 24 leads a month is going to accomplish your goal, and you're going to achieve that and break it down to a weekly 6 leads a week. So now you got 6 leads a week. So what's the goal? 6 leads. I got to generate 6 leads a week. I got to do whatever I got to do to generate 6 leads a week, right? So you generate 6 leads a week, 23 leads a month. Now you got to figure out what's it going to cost. Well, 280 leads a year times your $50 cost per lead is essentially $14,000 annual marketing budget, and you divide that by 48, and you have about a $291, right? $292 marketing budget a week. So let's recap, right? Now we know we've got to do 6 leads, right? 6 leads every single week. We got 23 leads a month. We know if we got to spend $292 a week to go out for our marketing budget to generate the leads. And we know if we convert 1 in 20 of those, we're going to get 1 to 2 deals a month. We get 1 to 2 deals a month. We're going to be on target to hit our goal of $75,000 for the year. So now when you do your planning, that's all the numbers you need. Now, if you don't have your numbers, use $10,000 as average, use $50 as a cost per lead, and use 1 in 25 as your conversion numbers. If you use those as a baseline numbers, if you don't have your KPIs, that will keep you in check. So the video is about to end because the time is running out. So I hope this helped. I hope this can reverse engineer and you can go out there and you can crush 2020 and make it happen and set a specific goal and then reverse engineer it down to a weekly thing that you want to accomplish. Hope that helps. God bless.